Greetings. This is Dinah Monahan.
And Damon Evans bringing you Pro-Life Perspectives. This program is about all things pro-life. It's sponsored by White Mountain Tees in Snowflake. White Mountain Tees provides screen printing, embroidery, banner printing, sublimation, and much more for the White Mountain community. Whether it's 25 t-shirts for your family reunion or 5,000 for your big event, they can do it.
And Damon, they deliver your order right to your door. From Payson to Winslow, Pine Top to Springerville, they bring it to you.
For more information, go to whitemountaintees.com. That's whitemountaintees.com, or stop by their shop on Main Street in Snowflake. Dinah, I want to pick up where we left off last week and talk about the recent overturning of Roe versus Wade, because that was a shock and frankly something I never thought I'd see. How did that come about?
You're right. It was stunning. 50 years after Roe changed our Constitution to make abortion a constitutional right, that decision was overturned. In May of 2021, the Supreme Court agreed to hear the case of Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. The case involved a law in Mississippi that bans most abortions after the baby reaches 15 weeks.
And if any of you have seen a 15-week fetal model, you know it is a perfectly formed little baby that lays comfortably in the palm of your hand, right?
Absolutely. So Jackson Women's Health, as the only abortion provider in the state of Mississippi, sued, saying that the law was in direct violation of Roe v. Wade. In response, Mississippi essentially asked the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade as bad law. Unbelievably, in a 5-4 vote, the court found there is no constitutional right to abortion.
It seemingly came out of nowhere to me.
You're right.
And I remember the day it was announced. I was very, very stunned. And I know that my liberal friends were going nuts. And you would have thought that abortion was being completely outlawed in our country. And that was why they were reacting this way. But what exactly did that Dobbs case do?
Basically, it put abortion back where it was before Roe in 73. It went back to the states to decide what their abortion laws would be. Where we stand now, 14 states have outlawed abortion altogether. 21 states have no restrictions on abortion. That means up until the day of birth, that baby can be aborted. The rest have gestational restrictions from 6 to 24 weeks.
And that's where it stands now. But now that they have lost Roe, I understand the pro-abortion lobby is taking the state-by-state approach to legalizing abortion with no restrictions.
You are absolutely right. In fact, Arizona is in the thick of it right now. There's an amendment to our state constitution that the abortion lobby is trying to get on the ballot. In order to do this, on the ballot, the opposition has to have 15% of qualified voter signatures. That's around 250,000. There is an army of signature gatherers in Phoenix and Tucson who are paid $26 an hour to get signatures.
But who's paying them?
Well, the money's coming from out of state, from an abortion cabal that is dead set, no pun intended, on writing abortion into every state constitution. Think about it. Out-of-state interests are paying to alter our state constitution. And if they succeed, Arizona will be one of the most liberal abortion states in the country.
Pardon the expression, but it feels demonic. The energy that's in the opposition.
Well, that's another program.
Okay, good. I guess I still think of Arizona as a conservative state. But Dinah, are they going to be able to get the signatures to put it on the ballot?
Well, first of all, I hope we're still conservative, but we've been Californicated, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But I think if they told the truth, absolutely not. They couldn't get that amendment on the ballot, but they don't tell the truth. There's a counter effort called Decline to Sign, and they're all volunteers. Nobody's paying them. And they stand next to the signature gatherers, and when they ask someone to sign their petition, and by the way, they say it's for women's health care. Who can be against women's health care? They don't mention abortion. So people sign. And the pro-lifer will stand right there and say that, hey, I understand this is the amendment that'll allow abortion up until the day of birth. The signature gatherers are trained to adamantly deny it. But all you have to do is read the wording.
Boy, just think of all those people who are signing, having no idea what it means because they're getting these signatures on false pretenses.
And here's the reality of what that amendment will do. And remember, it won't be a law that can be changed by the legislators. It's going to be written into our state Constitution. Okay, this amendment would remove most safeguards and safety precautions that protect girls and women. Here's the quote. The state shall not enact, adopt, or enforce any law, regulations, policy, or practice that restricts or interferes with an abortion. It would actually lead to the elimination of almost all safety precautions under the argument that they interfere or regulate abortion. And you know what? The question has to be asked, will crisis pregnancy centers be seen as interfering with a woman's right to get an abortion? This is something that we are very concerned about. You know, and the same applies to parental consent and informed consent laws, which ensure girls and women know the risk related to abortion. So parents are going to lose their ability to have a voice in their minor daughter's decision to have an abortion. Doesn't matter if she's 14.
Sickening. It's sickening to think about that reality.
Additionally, Section 2D requires that the amendment be liberally construed in furtherance of the fundamental right to abortion it establishes. This vague language seriously jeopardizes any safety regulations, limits, or precautions designed to protect the health and safety of girls and women. The amendment allows any, quote, healthcare professional, unquote, to provide abortions or authorize a late-term abortion, even those who have no training and expertise in obstetrics. Under the Arizona statutes, healthcare professionals include chiropractors, physician assistants, psychologists, athletic trainers. You get the picture. This amendment also shields sex abusers from prosecution if they force their victims to get an abortion to cover their crime. A 12-year-old girl could be abused by her coach, school counselor, or whomever, and he could take her for an abortion. Her parents would never know, and he could not be prosecuted under this. The amendment states that no law or regulation can penalize any individual or entity for aiding or assisting someone getting an abortion.
Dinah, this is crazy. I wonder why they put that in, knowing that trafficked girls are often forced to have an abortion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just opens Pandora's box to hell. All term limits on abortions are also negated by the broad mental health exemption, by the way. By including this language, the amendment will allow abortion at any stage of development for virtually any reason if the, get this, treating healthcare professional signs off on it. And you know, Arizona would actually become an abortion mecca, and don't think it can't happen. Ohio had the same people pushing and paying for the same amendment, and they won. People just don't understand what's at stake. If you want to know what's at stake, go to itgoes2far.com and read the truth of what is at stake. Remember, in the White Mountains, we have the answer for women facing an unwanted pregnancy. New Hope Pregnancy Resource Centers in Show Low, Springerville, and White River.
Well, Dinah, we are out of time today, but thank you for walking us through this crash course in the history of the pro-life movement. And thank you also for your lifetime of advocacy on behalf of women and the unborn. We encourage all our listeners that as your eyes are open to the forces of evil driving the abortion agenda, to become more involved, whether that means giving of your time or treasure, and of course praying for the current situation with this amendment, and of course decline to sign any petition claiming to be about women's health. We'll be back next week with still more shocking revelations about this fight and what we're up against, so please join us for that.
Until next week, be safe,
be blessed,
be kind,
and love life.